Next on the news, the Diocese of Brooklyn is packing for the airport. Young people preparing to fly to Rome for the Jubilee of Youth. While there, pilgrims will get the chance to interact with two soon-to-be saints who, even decades after their death, are still making an impact on young people around the world.
Each day, more or less, we receive documentation of possible healings, a grace, a conversion, many miracles.
Even though he hasn't been formally canonized by the church, it's almost like he's been canonized by the people.
Learn about the life and sainthood journey of Blessed Carlo Acutis and Blessed Pier Giorgio Frassati, plus a chance to see their canonization in person.
It's a wonderful experience to join with Catholics from all over the world in giving praise to God for the gift of the lives of these two holy young men.
How you can attend this once-in-a-lifetime pilgrimage. I'm Katie Vasquez. Currents News starts right now. Dozens of Diocese of Brooklyn youth will soon be on their way to Rome. They're packing their bags as they prepare to set off for the Eternal City this Sunday for a more than week-long journey to celebrate the Jubilee of Youth. One of the things they'll be able to see is two first-class relics of two young, soon-to-be saints. The first, one well-loved here in the Diocese of Brooklyn, Blessed Carlo Acutis, a teenage tech whiz who used his skills to spread the word of God. Currents News' Christine Persichetti tells us his story.
His name is now known by Catholics around the world, but at one time, Carlo Acutis was just a regular teen.
He lived a daily life with his classmates. He used to do sports. He used to be a normal young boy.
But what his mother Antonia could see in her son that others couldn't was a strong connection to Christ.
Carlo lived this presence of Jesus in everything he used to do. So even also the smallest things.
She says the Bible was his compass, and he lived his life in service to others, helping beggars, the handicapped, and children bullied at his school. But Antonia says his most important work was as a catechist. The Italian teen turned tech whiz created a website outlining Eucharistic miracles from around the world. In doing so, Carlo touched countless people.
Through the computer, Carlo did so many evangelization. So many people that were not going to Mass started to go again to go to Mass. Grace to Carlo's exhibition.
When Carlo was 15, he suddenly got very ill. But even while sick, he was still helping others.
He said, I offer my sufferings for the Pope, for the Church, not to go to the purgatory, but to go directly to heaven.
He would be diagnosed with leukemia, but the teen wasn't afraid of death.
But he was not scared about death, because he used to say that death is the passage through the true life.
Carlo returned to the Lord 6 days after entering the hospital. At his funeral, the impact of the future saint came to light.
When he died, the funeral at the church was full of poor people. Everyone wondered what they were doing there. The fact is that Carlo was secretly helping them. The family knew this because, being only 15 years old, he was accompanied by his mother.
Antonia says even now, close to 20 years later, she continues to hear about her son's saintly impact.
And since then, each day, more or less, we receive documentation of possible healings, a grace, a conversion, many miracles. And we have many. It's not only the two miracles, one for the beatification, one of the canonization.
That was Christine Persichetti reporting. The other saintly relic comes from someone John Paul II called the Man of the Beatitudes. Blessed Pier Giorgio Frassati was born in the Italian town of Turin in 1901 and from an early age showed a strong faith. At 17, he joined the St. Vincent de Paul Society and served the sick and needy, along with the servicemen returning from World War I. He decided to study to become a mining engineer so he could serve Christ better among the miners, and quickly became a Catholic activist on campus. Whatever he had, he gave to the poor. And even when he was doing the activities he loves, like mountain climbing, he took them as opportunities for his apostolic work. Blessed Pierre died at age 24 from polio, but his short life has continued to inspire young people from around the globe more than a century later, especially in the United States.
He's inspired many vocations over here. He's got schools named for him over here. And in a way, even though he hasn't been formally canonized by the church, it's almost like he's been canonized by the people. And you can see that by the incredible devotion, not just in the United States, but almost on every continent.
Blessed Pierre was beatified by Pope John Paul II in 1990, 1 year before Blessed Carlo was born. The two young men will be made saints on September 7th, but their journey to sainthood hasn't been a simple one. Blessed Carlo was originally scheduled to be canonized during the Jubilee of Teenagers back in April, and Blessed Pierre was to become a saint during the Jubilee of Youth next week. But both those celebrations were postponed after the death of the late Pope Francis. After the election of Pope Leo XIV, the Holy Father soon presided over a consistory that decided both of their canonizations will be on September 7th. While the pilgrims in the Diocese of Brooklyn are preparing to head off to Rome, they won't be seeing the canonization as originally planned. They're still excited about this Jubilee pilgrimage. Bishop Robert Brennan celebrated Mass with the young men and women last weekend, hoping to give them one final blessing before they enter into the eternal city. The Brooklyn Shepherd, along with the Diocesan Director of Youth and Young Adult Ministry, Father James Caroli, hope the journey will have a lasting impact on the pilgrims.
Well, I hope that they have an encounter with Christ and the church so that they are able to go back home into their parishes and really live the message that our Holy Father will bring to them.
When you see millions of other people not only believing what you believe, but joyfully celebrating what we believe, that can help us when we're back home to live that faith authentically and invite others on the journey.
9 churches from across Brooklyn and Queens, as well as the Bronx, are expected to join the pilgrimage. If you missed that journey, the Diocese of Brooklyn is also planning another pilgrimage to Rome, and this one includes the canonizations of Blessed Carlo and Pierre. Earlier, I spoke with Monsignor Thomas Michalski, the pastor of Sacred Heart of Jesus Church in Bayside, who was leading that journey, and asked him what pilgrims can expect.
Anytime that one has the opportunity to participate in a canonization, and it's not something that most Catholics ever have an opportunity to participate in, it's a wonderful experience to join with Catholics from all over the world in giving praise to God for the gift of the lives of these two holy young men, and not young men from a long, long time ago, not from centuries ago. These are young men that we can say are our contemporaries, if you will. And I think that's such an important message, especially for our young people, for them to understand that holiness is something that's there for everyone. And it's a goal for every person. It's not just for old people. It's not just for priests and sisters. It is a goal for everyone who's a follower of Jesus, no matter how old you are.
And you have a special connection to Blessed Carlo. I see you even brought a relic of him here.
Actually, this relic is actually Bishop DiMarzio's, and he gave this one to me to let parishes borrow it, because the diocesan relic, of which I'm the custodian, is actually 7 strands of his hair. That's the one that came over 4 years ago, and we've had lots of stories, both on Currents and in secular media about it as well. And that's out for permanent veneration in my parish in Sacred Heart in Bayside, where there's a shrine to St. Carlo that Bishop will dedicate on October 12th, which is his feast day, and then he will name us the diocesan shrine of St. Carlo Acutis. But Bishop DiMarzio received this from the Bishop of Assisi, who was the custodian of the body of Blessed now, soon to be St. Carlo, and this is a piece of the lining of his heart. So Bishop said, you know, why don't you keep both the relics together? So we have the one out on display, and this in any parish that asks to borrow this, I just say, come and get it, and just make sure it comes back to me on time, and they can borrow it. And not only, there were even parishes from Rockville Center who have called to borrow it.
Oh, wow, that's incredible. Yeah. So why should people sign up for this pilgrimage? What is it about these men that Catholics should look up to? Again,
just the holiness of these young men. I mean, look at Blessed Carlo, 15 years old, and the holiness that young man had, and the extraordinary life that he led. I mean, I'm an old man. I have a lot to learn from someone like him. He has a great lesson to teach even older people like me of what it means to be a follower of Jesus and really put that into action. And again, like I said, why is it so important? How often do we get a chance to participate in a canonization? This will be the first time I've ever been at a canonization. I've been blessed to have been at a beatification, but I've never been at a canonization mass. So I'm really excited, and especially because now he is so much connected to our Diocese of Brooklyn.
Definitely sounds like an incredible pilgrimage. Thank you so much, Monsignor Thomas Michalski, pastor of Sacred Heart of Jesus Church in Bayside. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, and I'd like to thank you by taking this card of Blessed Carlo and now touching it to this relic, thereby making this now a third-class relic, which I give to you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'll definitely hold on to this and cherish it. If you would like to join, you can sign up on Peters Way Tours website at petersway.com or call at 1-800-225-7662. That is this current news update. I'm Katie Vasquez. Thank you for joining us because we are putting your faith in the news. Hope to see you again next time.